I have to unmute myself. I literally just talked on mute, but it is the first Monday of the year. That's a good thing because it allows me to give a little bit of time for people to jump on. Today, we are going to not only be talking about mindset, but I want to be talking about how you build trust with your audience in 2023, because you got to know, hey, you got to get people to know you, like you, and trust you. How do you actually do that? And so before we get into that topic, I'm going to cue the intro here. See you on the other side.
There are no bad businesses. There are just those people who don't know enough to see the opportunities in the work they're in. If there seems to be no future or opportunity in it, it isn't always because it's not there, but perhaps only because we can't see it.
What is up, everyone? Welcome to Monday Mindset. Good to be back here on Monday. Last week, I messed up and I went live on my Facebook page, not the Insurance Syndicate page. And so I messed up here. I was going live on my Instagram, seeing all these comments, and I started seeing comments on my Facebook page. And then at the end, Joe was like, text me, hey, are you live yet? And I was like, oh man, I just did the whole show, but I hope you caught the video. I uploaded the video to the Insurance Syndicate group. Today, I am going to be finalizing the FIT framework. So we've talked about frequency. We've talked about impact. Today, we're going to talk about trust, but it is the first Monday of the year. And as you know, this is Monday Mindset. We're going to get your mindset right so you can get your marketing right, so ultimately you can get your money right. And I can't help but giving you guys a quote that really resonated with me. And when I woke up on January 1st, I read the quote that said, hey, you're about to write a 365-page book. Write it well. Meaning, yesterday was the first page of your book. What did you do? What was written? And think 365 days, or now 364 days from now, what will that book read? Will you be where you want to be? Because as you know, it starts with changing your habits. You can change your mindset all day long, but that mindset change has to run to your habits, because your habits are ultimately going to affect the outcome that you want. Today, we're going to be talking about trust. How do you build trust in your marketing, right? So you guys know I run a marketing company. We serve, right now we have about 40,000 clients in about 142 different industries that we're servicing. And one of the things that I want to help them do is get known, liked, and trusted. But when you hear that Zig Ziglar saying, a lot of times it's, hey, well, how do you tactically do that? And I talked about the FIT framework, and the FIT framework is FIT. And it really came from the past 2 decades of working with now 100,000 plus small businesses and doing marketing campaigns. We've done email campaigns for them, direct mail campaigns, social media campaigns. And when I look at the campaigns that have worked, I go, man, what is it that they have that these other campaigns don't have? And I found that there was really 3 pillars that you needed in a marketing campaign to really drive success. One was you needed frequency. That was what the F stands for. Frequency is also a way to build trust. It's a necessary requirement for trust. What do I mean by that? Well, frequency, it leads to familiarity, and familiarity leads to comfort. You get comfortable with things that you're familiar with, and that is a necessary requirement for trust. Also, frequency is a necessary requirement for trust. Why? Because trust is built from people showing up consistently over certain periods of time. Meaning, it's very hard to have trust with somebody that you have one interaction with. But if someone shows up consistently, does what they say they're going to do, you have a high degree of trust in that person. Now, this is Monday Mindset, so I want to tie that to your mindset, right? If you listen to Ed Milet, man, Ed Milet is unbelievable at breaking down how the mind works and how you actually translate that to your belief system and actually affect your actions. And one of the things that he says is that confidence in your craft, confidence in your life comes from keeping the promises that you make to yourself. I.e., if you are frequently showing up for yourself and doing what you say you're going to do, you will walk around with confidence. And Ed Milet says this, that when he runs into an unconfident person, he knows he's running into somebody that is not keeping the promises that they've made to themselves. So here's a simple promise. Did you make a New Year's resolution to get to the gym? Did you make a New Year's resolution to eat healthy? Have you already kept that promise or broken that promise already a day in? Meaning, if you show up frequently to the gym over and over and over again, guess what's going to happen? That frequency is going to build trust with yourself because you're going to realize, man, I know I can do this. It almost becomes second nature to you. The same applies for your database that you're marketing to. How are you showing up consistently so you're reliable, so they know what they're going to get from you, so they know they can trust you? So I'm going to switch over. I see some comments coming in here. Alicio, good to see you, man. Good morning. Tony, good morning, man. Let's go. Beginning of the year. Those on Instagram, I see you guys waving over here. Appreciate you guys joining in. So the F stands for frequency. The I stands for impact. Go back and watch the video. I actually share one of the best gifts I've ever gotten for Christmas ever. Came from my brother-in-law this year, and I share about it in the video, and it will teach you so much about what to send to your clients, how to connect with your database of your sphere, your prospects, your clients, so they know you, like you, and ultimately they lead to where they trust you. You have to have impact in what you send. And that leads up to today. We're going to wrap up and talk about trust. How do you build trust? Because people can get familiar with you. They can have impacts with you, meaning they enjoy what you send to them. They actually engage with it. But if they don't trust you as the business professional, they'll never use you. They'll never buy from you, right? People want to buy from people they trust. Another way to say it in sales, people want to buy from people they look up to. They don't want to buy from people they look at, they consider a peer in knowledge, or they look down upon, meaning they consider this person knows less than them. A simple example, even though it's a bad example right now because crypto is crashing, but if you're going to invest in crypto, do you want to go invest in crypto with somebody who knows just as much about crypto as you or less about crypto than you? No, of course you don't. You want to go to somebody who knows more than you about crypto. I call this the SME, S-M-E, the subject matter expert. How do you today in your business build trust where people who wake up, whatever industry you're in, right? Your clientele wakes up today and they go, man, I got to go to Joe Camper. He is the subject matter expert when it comes to everything P&C insurance. This guy knows everything there is to know. I have confidence in him. I trust him. He can be an advisor to me. Apply that to your industry. How do you get that to happen? There's a myriad of ways you can build trust. But over the past 2 decades, I have found 3 really successful ways in marketing to build trust with your audience. And I want to give them to you today. The first is you build trust through showcasing your experience, your accolades. So I call it your accolades. If somebody's introducing you to speak, right? If you ever go to these conferences, like a lot of us on the Insurance Syndicate, we go to 8% Nation, right? Cody's conference. Shout out to Cody. Amazing conference. You guys should attend. It's coming this July. I'm actually going to be a speaker there. Shameless plug, but would love to see you there. But when people get introduced on stage, what do they do before they introduce the speaker? They read a list of their accolades. Why do you think they do that? Do they just, does the speaker just require it in their writer going, hey, before I'm introduced, you must tell them I'm the greatest? No, a lot of times speakers get up there and the immediate thing they do is kind of make fun of their intro because it makes them feel awkward. But why do the MCs of the event always start with the accolades, start with the experience, because they know that in psychology, it will build the trust in the mind of the audience of, hey, you're not just listening to a random dude or random woman up here on stage. You're listening to somebody that actually has done something. So for example, I'm a marketer. You guys have heard me say that, right? I love marketing. It's my passion. So some of you do insurance on my Instagram, probably some of you doing real estate, finance, just a bunch of different industries. But I'm a marketer. That's what I do. Well, if I tell you guys I'm a marketer, that's great. But if I tell you that I've worked with over 100,000 clients, that raises your trust a little bit. If I tell you my company, Reminder Media, I've taken on the Inc. 5000 list 4 years in a row, meaning it's the fastest growing company in America 4 years in a row. I've done over 400 million in sales for my own company. I'm bragging, but I'm building trust in the mind of the audience that I've sent over 100 million pieces of direct mail. I've spent millions and millions of Facebook advertising. I've spent or sent over 1 billion marketing emails. All of these accolades, all of this experience helps raise the trust in your mind that, hey, I might want to pay attention to what Luke's saying here about marketing because he has some experience. So how would you apply that? How many clients have you served? How long have you been in the business? Have you won any awards, right? How many policies have you sold or deals have you done? These things can help build trust. Another accolade that people don't really think of very much. Thank you, Joe, shouting out my 400 million in sales, man. I appreciate that. A lot of hard work. And Joe's also saying he sees the guitars in the background. So that was my dream. Oh, it's on this side. That was my dream, to be a musician. I was in a band from like 13 to 19 years old. I thought I was going to be a musician, but, it didn't work out. But anyways, so here's the thing about accolades that people miss also. So you have your years of experience, the number of sales you've done, awards that you've had, but giving back can also be an accolade. So every year we do a charity issue with our magazine. So one of our flagship products that we do for clients is we do a customizable magazine. Well, every year we do a charity issue where we give back, and we'll give back. Like one year we donated over 50 grand to CHOP, Children's Hospital of Philadelphia. Every year it's like Feed America, breast cancer awareness. These are actually accolades. Now I make a caveat here because I have to, right? Is you should never go and commit and give back to charity and donate just because of the accolade it's going to give you for marketing. That's terrible. That will be inauthentic and will actually hurt you. But you should also know that when you give back, it's a powerful thing in business and marketing because consumers, they want to do business with people of purpose, right? If you watch on TV, just go watch some commercials that are out there on TV. You're going to see big companies, Nike, Apple, Microsoft. These companies, you're going to see them run commercials that have charity involved in their commercial. Why? They know they want to capitalize on showcasing, hey, we are a business that's not just about the transaction. One of our accolades, one of the things that we're here for is purpose. We're giving back. And you get in psychology what's called the halo effect. This is really neat. When you do something good, the halo effect basically says that when you do something good, people associate that good with everything else you do in your life. So if you see me this weekend going out there and volunteering with the homeless or giving back in some way, you naturally take that association and you put it onto my business activity as well. So your accolades can also involve your giving back. My encouragement to all of you, you should be giving back. Not only does it help you in your business, it's the right thing to do. And also, if you want a life of significance, it comes from a life of service. I truly mean that. Every time I grow the business or make more money, I realize, man, true fulfillment actually comes from creating impact. And so it helps in both ways. Not only does it help you live a fulfilled life and give back to others, but it grows your business. So those are some of your accolades. Now, that's one way to build trust. Now, here's the thing about accolades. Don't just do your accolades. These are humble brags. So you got to be careful because if you stack them too much, people are going to actually feel like you're bragging and it will turn them off. So you want to strategically give your humble brags. If you tuned in 2 Mondays ago, I talked about frequency, and I talked the minimum of touch points you should have is at least 26 a year. So 26, every 2 weeks, you're in front of your database in some frequency, whether it's email, print, social media, face-to-face, phone call. These can be a few of your touch points. every so often, maybe once a quarter, you're showcasing some of the things you accomplished. You see this right now at the end of the year. A lot of people do a recap of their year, and they do it in the kind of the marketing style of a thank you. Thank you to the 300 families I was able to help this year, the X amount of policies I was able to do, or sales I was able to accomplish. They are getting their accolade out there in a way to kind of say thank you, but they're not doing it every time they do their touch point. You want to do accolades, but you also want to do your second one, which is testimonials. So people care what you say, but they care a lot more what your clients say. So I gave an example when I spoke on the Ultimate Agent Tour. We have a client named Brian Harris, and Brian Harris is down in Annapolis, Maryland. He's in the financial arena. This guy is amazing. He was speaking at a conference in Phoenix, and he was talking about how his practice pulls $6 million a year. And we're one of the touch points. So he held up our magazine, or had it on a slide on his on stage, and he said, "This is one of the touch points I use." Well, that was so powerful. We signed up so many people at that conference. Why? Because people care what Luke says. I can get up there all day and tell you my accolades, but it's a lot more powerful when Brian Harris, who's pulling $6 million a year out of his business, says, "Hey, I use this touch point, American Lifestyle Magazine. You guys should check it out." That is so much more powerful. So in your trust building, are you showcasing accolades? Are you getting testimonials, not only on review sites like Google Business Profile or your websites, your Facebook pages, but also putting it in your marketing, doing an email campaign? You don't just have to state the testimonial. You could do a case study. You could share a story. You could get out there and share with people how you took Luke, where the situation he was in, he couldn't get insured because of X, Y, and Z reasons, but you went to work and found this type of coverage for him, and the result was this, and now Luke is actually insured the way he wants to be. You can tell the story in your marketing, whether it's through email, social media, video, right? These are ways that you can get out in front of people and showcase to them, hey, I'm actually changing lives. I'm making a difference here. And testimonials are so powerful. Here's a tip for you guys to get testimonials. So my brother's a real estate agent down in Lynchburg, Virginia. So he's a beast of a real estate agent. You guys should look him up. It's the Acree Brothers Realty team. But one of the things that he realized was, man, my Google business profile is terrible. I don't have a lot of reviews on there. I was just getting it started. And he's like, I need testimonials. I've serviced hundreds of clients. How do I get testimonials? Well, what he did is he threw a pie event. And so this was last year, I think around Thanksgiving time. He partnered with a local bakery, went there, got a bunch of pies, and invited all of his database of past clients to come to his office, and he wanted to give them a pie. But what he did was, when he gave them the pie, he asked them simply would they review him from their experience with him on Google. And not only that, he filmed some of the testimonials too. He got I think it was 67 5-star reviews that day for his Google business profile. So that's something that you guys can do when you think about your client event that you might throw this year. How do you tie in that, hey, you're really legitimately giving back. You really want to invite your clients and give them a pie or whatever else that you're doing, but make sure you capitalize on the moment and tie in to get those reviews so you can showcase the reviews on your Google business profile. So Joe's saying that magazine I customize as well. Hey, man, I appreciate it. You can also do the reviews on your magazine. So if you use our magazine, you could put reviews on your magazine. So that's the second way you build trust. You showcase to people your experience, your accolades. Hey, I'm a subject matter expert. I know what I'm doing. I'm passionate about this. You showcase to people, hey, what your clients are saying about you. Now, I'm going to pause here for a second because we might have new people watching this. So maybe you're new in insurance, new in real estate. Maybe you're new. How do you you don't have any experience. You don't have any accolades to share. You don't have any testimonials. What do? I like to call this the royal we in sales. So a lot of times in these industries, when you get in, whether it's insurance, real estate, finance, you are part of a bigger company. You're in a downline, or you're under a brokerage. You're under somebody. You should be partnering up with somebody where you can partner up and use the royal we. You are part of this team. So when my sales team comes in and they're brand new to Reminder Media, they haven't been here for 20 years. They haven't helped 100,000 clients themselves, but they can say, hey, we as an organization, we've been here for 20 years. We've helped over 100,000 clients. We have a 4.8 star review out of 5 on Facebook. They can use what is called the royal we in sales. So if you have the opportunity in your business to use the royal we because you're part of a larger organization, lean on your brokerage, lean on your team leader, or whoever it is, to come up with some of those accolades and some of those clients that you've helped to build your credibility. And a lot of times it's really good when you're starting out in business to take those people with you to your first client deals to try to close those deals, because it not only builds that trust, but you can learn from them in the actual closing, at the closing table, and the presentation to take you to the next level. So, hey, you want to showcase your accolades? You want to showcase what your clients say about you? The third way to build trust is the hardest, but the most powerful. It's you must put out educational content on your craft consistently. So you want to market to your database consistently with educational content. What does that mean? It means, what is your industry that you serve? For me, it's marketing. How do I put out thought leadership education on marketing consistently to my audience so it raises in their mind my knowledge level and their trust in me on my understanding on this subject matter? So right here, what I'm doing on my Instagram, what I'm doing on the Insurance Syndicate, guess what? This is putting out educational content on my craft, my experience, which is one touch point, maybe the first time you're seeing me. But if you see this consistently, it will raise the trust in your mind. I'll give you a perfect example. So I started my podcast, Stay Paid, like 5 years ago, almost 6 years ago now. I think we've done like 400 episodes, right? I mean this when I say it's not just a joke. It's nobody listened in the beginning. I mean, we were getting no listeners in the beginning. For the first 3 years, basically no listeners. And I was interviewing my friends. I was interviewing employees. I was interviewing anybody I could. The podcast is called Stay Paid. It's a sales and marketing podcast with the best tips to help you scale your business from a sales and marketing perspective. And it's slowly over time. I put out an episode Mondays and Thursdays. Over time, it has grown and grown and grown. We've hit the top 10 in iTunes now. We have tens of thousands of downloads happening. It's one of my biggest lead sources. And where it's helped me the most is it's raised the credibility of who I am in the minds of the industries that I work in. Because I truly am passionate about marketing. I truly am. This is where I spend my life, 80 hours a week. I definitely do have expertise on this, but it took putting out educational content consistently to build up that credibility in the mind of your client. Where else can this apply to you? Your social media. Are you posting consistently on your Instagram, your Facebook, your LinkedIn, TikTok? Go to our TikTok page, right? Stay Paid _podcast. Stay Paid _podcast. I mentioned TikTok because I avoided TikTok. Avoided TikTok because I thought it was all about dancing, and I'm not a good dancer, as you guys can just see in what I just did. I thought it was all dancing, but I finally, hey, Luke, you got to snap out of it. You got to get educated. You're a marketer. This is a medium you should be educated on and using. So I started using it ourselves. We've had a bunch of videos now go viral, but what's really interesting, right, is go look at our TikTok. You're going to see videos that are viral with millions of views, and then you're going to see a ton of videos with just a couple thousand views. But it's in the consistency of putting out that motivational, educational content on TikTok that has grown our audience there to where I think it's like we have 150,000 followers now on TikTok. But it came from consistently putting out educational content on my subject matter through that medium. You should be doing this in your business. When you look at that 26 touch point, not all of your 26 are going to be just educational pieces, because people will tune out. They don't care about marketing that much, or insurance or real estate, whatever you're in. But you should have a consistent drip going where you are educating people on your market at least once a month you are putting out. But I would say, man, the more, the better. The more, the better, and do it on all the different frequencies. If you don't know what I'm talking about there, go back 2 episodes of my Monday Mindset, and you'll hear me talk about the 6 different frequencies of marketing. But put out that educational content, because you will be the SME. If you're thinking to yourself, Luke, what is my educational content? This is a great hack that you can apply. Sit down today, write out your FAQ. What are your frequently asked questions? What are the questions that your consumers are asking you all the time? And usually you can think of FAQs with different personas. Like different clientele have different frequently asked questions. Different phases of the journey of the purchasing or the buyer's journey has different phases of frequently asked questions. Write those down. That's your content. Pull out your phone, film a video on it. Not only that, write an email on it, write a blog on it, get to where you can post on social media about it. Those frequently asked questions can become your content as part of your drip, right? 26 drips is or touch points is your minimum. You want to get up. I think Brian Harris had like 200. If I remember correctly, he had like a little over 200 from his Phoenix speech that he talked about. You should have so many drips going, but it's in 6 different frequencies with educational content, impactful content, and that is what will lead to people knowing you, liking you, trusting you. So I'm going to summarize here for you guys as I wrap up Monday Mindset. The key as you go into 2023, if you want people to know you, like you, and trust you, you got to be frequently in front of them. You got to give them impactful content. Impactful content comes from personalization, getting content in front of them that is relevant to them. And then third, you got to build trust in their mind that you are the subject matter expert. How do you do that? Showcase your accolades, showcase your testimonials, and showcase your expertise on the content or on the subject matter at hand. And that will elevate in the mind of the consumer, Luke, he is the authority when it comes to sales and marketing. I'm going to go to him and check out his products. I'm going to go to him and see if he can help me generate more business in 2023 because this guy seems to know his stuff and I see him everywhere. The same applies for you no matter what you sell. So remember, you are now on the second page of your 365-page book. This is the second page. How are you going to write the book this year? I would encourage you, get your marketing right, because if people don't know you, they can't flow you. As Grant Cardone says, you can't get business. So people got to know you, but they're not going to know you unless you get out there. Appreciate you guys. Hey, really appreciate it. Joe, thank you so much. Appreciate you, brother. This is going to be an amazing year. You guys can tell I'm hyped up for it. Those on Instagram that tuned in, really appreciate you guys. I hope you guys have an amazing week, and let's go crush it this year for ourselves, our clients, and our family. Appreciate you guys.